Hey, good evening, USA, International Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, your host with the most, misunderstood lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, creator, YouTuber, and of course, Queens, New York native, who is also a New York Mets fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And yes, you're now rocking with me by tuning in, listening, streaming, and watching the 411th episode of the comedy Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast, live and direct from StreamYard, alongside of the comfort of my room where I do my recordings and YouTube. And speaking of StreamYard, if you like to level up on your videos and stuff, whether you are a YouTuber, live streamer, gamer, podcaster like myself, you can check out StreamYard by going to the website. All you need to do is basically set up an account. You can use your email address, you can use your podcast email address and all that other stuff. It has different ways for you to actually do your live streams. You have Kick, you have Facebook, you have X, you have Twitch, you have of course YouTube is included, and all the other features that's in there. So all you need to do is go to www.streamyard.com so you can set up set up an account, and you'll be able to get a $10 discount. All right, if you miss any episodes whatsoever that's already been uploaded to the YouTube channel page, please make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel page, G Money Stacks 555, so you'll be notified on when the live stream videos of the podcast episodes will be uploaded to the YouTube channel page. And of course, leave a like and a comment along with the episode topics in each episode. Share your thoughts in the comments on how you feel about the topics in each episode whatsoever. And if you like the topics that I've been doing, you can also give like a tip in my Cash App or my PayPal. Um, you know what I mean? And and enable alerts. Make sure you enable alerts so you don't miss out on any new episodes and when I'll be on the air via live stream. All right. And also leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts alongside with a review. It'll help me as a content creator on YouTube who is also a podcaster to come up with ideas of certain topics to talk about in this comedy genre here, and all that great stuff right there. So make sure you leave a review. It will really mean a lot to me. It'll increase my confidence whatsoever. And yeah, so there you have it right there. And I hope I hope y'all I hope everyone in I hope everyone in the subway trains and stuff like that is all right from a terrible, terrible flash flood from a couple days ago. And this is where I'm going to start off with right there, man. The recent flash flood that happened with the one train and stuff like that. So let's get into it right here with the New York Mass Transit Files right here. We got some train stuff to talk about here. Let's do this. In case you didn't know what happened recently, New York had a state of an emergency due to a flash flood that hit some of the subway stations in Manhattan. And I will gladly break this down. This is very crazy, man. This is very crazy. Actually, this happened a month ago. Actually, so I actually have to you know highlight what happened. Actually, so this is pretty much what I'm doing here. So here's what's happening. and, and I got some thoughts on the MTA, so don't you worry about that. Okay, so the Big Apple experienced its second wettest hour in history as torrential rain drenched the city overnight with terrifying footage showing strap hangers trapped on subways by the freak flash flooding. New York City picked up a hair over 2 inches last night, 2.07 inches to be exact, making it the second wettest single hour ever recorded in the city. Fox Forecast Center meteorologist Christopher Tate told the Post on Tuesday of the rainfall recorded between 6:51 p.m. and 7:51 p.m. in Central Park. It was it was bested only by the nearly 3 inches of rain that fell in New York City during the aftermath of Hurricane Ida in 2021. Huh. The heavy downpours wreaked havoc across the city with footage showing commuters overwhelmed by flood waters in various subway stations. One clip captured a deluge of water pouring into the 28th Street station in Manhattan, trapping scores of people on the one train live. And you crazy motherfuckers want to raise the fares, but you don't want to fix. You in the fucking city don't want to do anything about these crazy flash floods that's been happening in every subway station. You, the MTA is really full of shit right now. The MTA is really full of shit right now, and I say that because you talk about raising the fares and then you don't want to do anything about it. And it's not even because I think it's you in the city that don't want to do anything about it. And you're making excuses about it too, which I find it very baffling. Very, it's fucking baffling, you know what I mean? This is not surprising. This is not surprising to me. Oh Lord. And these poor commuters who were trapped on the subway trains and stuff had a scary fucking experience. All right. Let's continue. Um, End quote. I'm gonna call this one in. I can't open the doors. It's not safe. The conductor can be heard saying in the video. Other videos appear to show strap hangers standing on train seats to avoid the deluge of water pooling on the floor. As one quip, oh man, I might need a diaper. Yeah, you gotta feel for those commuters, man. And of course, the 1, 2, and 3 trains all ended up being suspended throughout Manhattan as the MTA addressed flooding across several stations. Meanwhile, the Forest Hills bound M and R trains operated under severe delays as multiple stations reportedly flooded in Queens. Parts of th- um, major thoroughfares in New York, including the Sawmill River Parkway and Cross Bronx Expressway, were temporarily closed due to flooding as New York's Emergency Services Agency blasted out a warning on X that parts of the city and mid Hudson were getting hit with flash floods. Thank goodness I don't work in the city. Meanwhile, JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark airports were also all struck by lengthy delays as the storm rolled through. End quote. It was one of the most intense storms that the system has dealt with, said Rohit Agarwala. The city's Department of Environmental Protection commissioner, noting the city's sewer is only made to handle 1.75 inches per hour. This is the level of rain that we never expected. MTA CEO Jenna Lever told ABC7 that the city's sewer system became overwhelmed by rain, which backed up into the subway tunnels and stations. The backup popped a manhole and created the dramatic geyser seen in some videos spreading on social media, he said. What happened last night is something that is, a reality in our system, Lever said. We've been working with the city of New York to try to get them to to increase the capacity of the system at these key locations. Elsewhere across the city, footage showed water seeping through ceilings, partially submerged cars navigating flooded seats, and sidewalks being turned into gushing rivers. No death or injuries were reported across the Big Apple, Mayor Eric Adams said. I want to thank our first responders, city workers, and everyday New Yorkers for taking our warning seriously and acting quickly, his owner said. People listened, because they stayed off flooded roads and helped protect one another, we avoided greater harm. This is how we meet the moment in a city facing rising climate risks. In New Jersey, 2 women were killed after their car was swept away in Plainfield by flash floods. Their vehicle was swept into Cedar Brook during the the height of the storm, and first responders were unable to save them, authorities said. Governor Phil Murphy had declared a state of emergency due to the flash flooding and heavy rainfall as he advised people to stay indoors and avoid unnecessary travel. Cars and emergency vehicles in towns like Somerville, and Plainsville were overwhelmed and even partially overturned as the rain battered the region. In one flooded North Plainfield neighborhood, a house caught on fire and collapsed possibly due to an explosion not long after the family inside had evacuated, authorities said. Most flash most flash flood watches and warnings expired in parts of New York and New Jersey as the rain moved on overnight, but some roads and streets were still flooded as of early Tuesday. Yikes. Yikes. While rain and scattered thunderstorms were predicted again through Tuesday, Tate said it would be nowhere near as bad as Monday's dump. I think the odds of that are pretty low, he said. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would make a prediction like that, but not sure if I would do that. Let's see. Let's see. In case you folks at home in the five boroughs of New York and those who live in Long Island, you probably don't know what's going on, but there is going to be a fare increase. And this is from the folks from the Gothamists. Here's what's happening here. New York City sub January 4th, which is my birthday, by the way. MTA officials announced during the agency's monthly board meeting Wednesday, with a full transition to Omni, which is one Metro New York. The MTA announced that it would also eliminate the 30-day unlimited fare option, making the 7-day fare cap the only way to get unlimited rides. It was a breakthrough 3 decades ago, but they are regressive. Use it or lose it instruments. We're just done with them. Jesse Lazarus, the MTA's deputy chief for commercial ventures. The proposed changes must be approved by the MTA board. Mayor Eric Adams, Mayor Eric Adams criticized the proposal, saying proposing a fare hike without demonstrating meaningful improvements is offensive to hardworking New Yorkers and urged MTA board members to vote it down. I actually agree with I actually agree and I agree with this statement is because you have people who are scrambling and stranded in subway trains during flash flooding. And then you have the whole thing with Hurricane Sandy. And and then just recently you had a fucking electrical outage in Washington Square, which I'll talk about that in a future episode. To me it's a slap in the face to all the hardworking people. To me, it's a slap in the face though. But I have to agree with Mayor Eric Adams on this actually. So this is yeah, I agree. All right, so um so another issue that a lot of people are going to have is The fact that you're not gonna, even if you have the Omni cards, what about the people who? What about the people who need a 7 day or a 30 day? You can't do the same. You mean to tell me you can't do the same with the Omni cards, just like you did with the Metro cards? I just find it so fucking disgusting because I just find it disgusting because you mean to tell me and all the commuters that you're just gonna basically get rid of the machines on the buses where people put, dimes, quarters, and nickels and stuff like that, so they don't have an option. That's another insult and a slap in the face, though, man. That's another insult to me. And to me, this is just disgusting and a slap in the face, man. Yeah, that part. Man. All right, so the new fare increase also raises the cost of the fare capping program. The amount riders can spend on subway and bus fares over a 7 day period at 36 up from 34 now. $36 up from $34 now. So as long as they tap to pay with the same smartphone or credit card, after after riders spend $36, they'll get unlimited rides for the rest of the 7 day period. Jeez, man. Jeez. How the hell you go from 34 to 36? That's fucking crazy. Um the MTA is also introducing a new unlimited weekly pass for express bus users once they spend $67 in a week, similar to hold on, wait, similar to the 7 day unlimited pass. Um, hang on one second. Yeah, similar. Yeah, similar to. Hold on a minute. No, similar to the 7 day unlimited pass subway and bus riders who use Omni have now. Commuter trains will also cost 4.4% more, and tolls on bridges and tunnels will rise 7.5%. An increase the MTA said it needs to meet inflation and revenue goals. Metro North and Long Island Railroad riders will also no longer be able to buy round trip tickets. Rather, they'll have day passes that expire 4 hours after being activated. That's crazy, man. That's fucking crazy. Drivers who use Easy Pass will see a 52 cent increase on the RFK, Whitestone, Throgs Neck, Verrazano bridges, as well as the Queens, Midtown, and Brooklyn Battery. Hold up. Wait a minute, man. Brooklyn and Battery. Wait a minute. Brooklyn. Wait a second. Wait. Hold up. Hold on. Just a second here. What the hell? Wait. Yeah, yeah. As I was saying before, drivers who use Easy Pass will see a 50, 52-cent increase on the RFK, Whitestone, Throgsneck, Verrazano bridges, as well as the Queens, Midtown, and Brooklyn Battery tunnels. The Henry Hudson Bridge toll will go up 24 cents, and the Cross Bay and Marine Parkway bridges tolls will increase 20 cents. Congestion prices congestion pricing rates will not change. Um, the cost of a reusable Omni card will increase from $1 to $2 next year. The MTA is planning to phase out the MetroCard completely by the end of December, forcing all subway and bus riders to use Omni. The agency announced it will stop selling MetroCards in January and will no longer accept MetroCards later in 2026, although the MTA didn't give an exact date. Lazarus said it costs the MTA $20 million annually to maintain MetroCard machines and buy physical cards. The MTA has built into its budget a 4% fare hike every 2 years. The last fare hike was in 2023. The agency is still planning to increase fares again in 2027 and again in 2029. Danny Pearlstein of the Writers Alliance said the city should make enrolling in the discounted fares program easier in order to offset the hike offset the hike hang on to offset the hike for low income riders as fares rise struggling hang on a minute damn it as fares rise, struggling riders need relief from City Hall with more fair fares, automatic enrollment tied to other benefits, and free fares for New Yorkers in poverty, Pearlstein said. The council has grown fair fares. Now it's time to transform it to save money, no, to save many more riders much more money. The MTA insists it's done everything it can to promote the program. We're not part of the affordability problem. We're part of the affordability solutions. MTA General Lieber said. He said he's encouraged the city to advertise the program more widely. That's crazy, man. Wow. Mm, wow. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, let's go to let's go to all right. Um let's go on to the next topic here. Let me make sure I have my topic set up here. Hang on. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. One more transit thing that I need to get to, and that um, and this is interesting because I didn't know Kenan Thompson was going to be the announcer of the subway trains. Hmm. Okay, let's get into it right here. Um, let's get into it right here. So let me see. Many of you probably know that many of you probably knew about this already. But I am going to recap. Um, I'm going to recap this actually. So this is from okay. So live from the subway, it's Saturday night. The MTA is bringing a touch of Saturday Night Live to the New York subway system, featuring popular comedian Kenan Thompson and new subway safety announcements as the sketch comedy show marks its 50th anniversary. Thompson's comedic um, messages will play in over 400 subway stations, which took place between February 10th and through and it continued to February 16th. Thompson's voice will remind New Yorkers and visitors to pay their fare and prioritize safety while using the subway. Um, in one of his promotional announcements, Thompson, the longest tenured cast member in SNL history, uses his familiar comedic tone to entice New Yorkers. Live from New York, it's Kenan Thompson from Saturday Night Live. Thompson's message says, I'm going to keep it real with you with the do's and don'ts of the subway. Do pay the fare. I see you trying to jump the turnstile. Stop it right now. I'm serious. Just tap your phone and keep it moving. Do keep those arms and legs inside the subway car. That's right. I am talking to you. Don't subway surf. I can't believe I have to even say this. Ride safely, New Yorkers. To further enhance the celebration, the MTA has arranged large wall scrapes, wallscapes, turnstiles, and both uh, static and digital signage throughout the 47th and 50th Streets Rockefeller Center subway station, on this which will remain on display until it ends. Actually, it ended on February 23rd. The station is located steps away from SNL's home studios at The Rock. Um, in another announcement, Thompson asked New Yorkers, "It's Kenan Thompson here. When I hear you all talking about surfing, it better be about the Rockaways. Stay smart and don't surf on the subways, please. That means you in the black shirt. And while I have you, tune into SNL 50, the anniversary special. Um, it's already on Peacock right now. Y'all can check that out too. Um, y'all can check that out as well. So let's get to let's get to All right, we got some. Well, we got a little unfortunate news right here, man, that we got to talk about here. Um, I'm pretty sure many of you are familiar with the Apollo Theater in Harlem, New York. Not just based on the TV show, but um, what I'm about to tell you is going to. It's not really shocking per se, but you'll find out in this segment right here, chatting or the jazz. Let's do this. Let's go. The most popular place in Harlem, New York, is the Apollo Theater. Of course, many of you are familiar with it, including the TV show, right? Um, and this is from Secret NYC, um, the website. So here's what's happening here. Harlem's Apollo Theater is getting a major facelift. But don't worry, patrons. Patrons will still be able to enjoy shows on the Apollo stages at the Victoria, just a short distance away. Here's everything you need to know about the ongoing renovations at the Apollo Theater. And of course, the question you might be wondering, what's being renovated at the Apollo Theater, you ask? Renovations will be made to the historic theater, the sound stage, and lobby, with upgrades coming to the HVAC system, audio lighting, and restroom facilities. Once completed, the lobby will feature a newly designed cafe and bar that will be open to the public daily. Improvements on the soundstage will include expanded seating and production for commercial shoots, private parties, and more. Moreover, guest seating will be increased and redesigned to offer better sight lines. Bayer Blinder Bell Architects and Planners is helming the project renovations alongside theater acoustics and digital consultants Charcoal Blue and Flyleaf. And of course, the questions are, how long will renovations take? You ask. Construction on the main lobby began on April 21st, 2025 of this year, when it first closed to the public. As of July 1st, 2025, the Apollo has closed its doors and will remain under renovations for the next 12 months. And of course, another question you might be wondering, will performances stop during the renovations? Although the performances will temporarily cease in the historic theater, guests can enjoy the Apollo stages at the Victoria Theater, just a few steps away at 233 West 125th Street. Programs shown at the Victoria Theater will uplift artists of color across various programming. Performances will take place on the third and fourth floor of the Victoria Theater building. Specifics about the individual programs will be released in the coming months. About the Apollo Theater, the Apollo Theater first opened its doors in 1934. Over nearly a century, the Apollo Theater has served as a vital stage for talented black performers, playing a pivotal role in shaping both Harlem's cultural identity and the broader American music scene. These renovations and upgrades will only continue to uphold the Apollo Theater's incredible legacy. Of course, you can learn more about these renovations and the history of the Apollo Theater on its website. So there you go, right there. Um, all right. Let's go on to the most recent the most recent story that happened while I was watching TV actually um, about a month ago. So here's what's going on here. So actually, it was 2 months ago. Actually, um, so according to People, a New York City teenager was struck by lightning in Central Park on June 19th. His the teenager's name is Yasin Khalifa, um, who was enjoying a picnic with friends when the storm started, and he suggested they wait the rain out under a tree. Apparently, I'm pretty lucky because my spine was directly against the tree and no nerve damage happened, Khalifa said. A teenager is speaking out after surviving a lightning strike in New York City. Yasin Khalifa, a 15-year-old high school sophomore, was struck by lightning while spending time in Central Park on Thursday, June 19th, according to WABC TV New York and the New York Times. Though he felt unconscious for a few minutes, he only sustained second-degree burns and is expected to make a full recovery. After enjoying a picnic with his friends near the East Meadow, a severe thunderstorm set in, according to WABC. Khalifa told the outlet that he decided to ride out the storm under a tree, which he admitted might not have been the best idea. You think? You think? Everybody was taught when it comes to thunderstorms not to be under a fucking tree. And and this this teenager did. Like, really? Really though? Wow. Sorry about that, folks. Um, Trying to restart this thing. Hold on. Sorry about that. Um, I was trying to reset my sound my sound effects actually. All right. Um, okay. So the bolt of lightning struck the tree he was leaning on around 3:40 p.m. The New York Post reported, and Khalifa lost consciousness for a short time after the strike. By the time an ambulance arrived to take him to New York Presbyterian Well Cornell Medical Center, though Khalifa was awake and alert. Additionally, Fox 5 New York reported that, according to officials, the teen was also burned on impact as he was wearing a metal chain. Apparently, I'm lucky. uh, Apparently, I'm pretty lucky. Nerve damage happened, Khalifa told WABC TV. So I'm pretty happy about that. In the case of lightning strikes, 1 in 10 people die. The New York Times reported in 2017, though it remains one of the leading causes of weather related deaths in the United States. The Manhattan, the thunderstorm in Manhattan was part of a string of severe weather along the East Coast on June 19th, affecting parts of New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. So, this is a quick lesson for you folks out there. Um, Whenever there's a thunderstorm, please do not go under the tree. Please do not go under the tree. All right. Let's. All right. Of course. So let's talk about SNL 50th anniversary this year, which which is pretty interesting actually. So so this is according to Entertainment Weekly. Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary of iconic sketches, unforgettable musical performances, and a host of legendary guest appearances. Sunday's event brought together beloved cast members from past to present, a culmination of the show's enduring influence on comedy and pop culture. It was, in other words, the ultimate victory lap, a night packed with nostalgia, humor, and surprise moments. Of course, here are the best and worst moments. best moments, best and worst moments from SNL 50, which is Saturday Night Live. Of course, the anniversary special. So, oh my god! So the best goes with this. So number one, best SNL lore. From the opening moments featuring the likes of Paul Simon and Steve Martin, SNL 50 sought to weave in legends from the show's early years, including an opening montage featuring cast photos from different SNL eras. In the monologue, Martin also gave a nod to the show's writers, featuring a cutaway to a few familiar faces, including Jim Downey and Robert Smigel. He was later joined on stage by former SNL cast member Martin Short and former SNL writer John Mulaney, which made for a nice blend of generations. And of course, number two worst is corporate brand synergy. Oh man. During the show's NYC musical sketch, John Mulaney lamented the decline of the New York arts and music scenes, noting that, in quote, the city is a bunch of TD banks. Oh shit. A good point, but one at odds with the messaging in the lead up to the anniversary special, which was littered with cross pollinated brand messaging. Once upon a time, Lorne Michaels frowned on his stars cozying up to high profile commercial work out of a concern it would undercut their role as satirists. Today, it's a different story. During the SNL 50 red carpet special and beyond, we were treated to an Allstate commercial with the Please Don't Destroy crew. Capital One ads via Anna um, Gastaya and Molly Shannon's Delicious Dish Revival, a T-Mobile rap featuring Kenan Thompson and Marcelo Hernandez. But that's not all. There was a Maybelline's red carpet sponsorship and new ad campaign with Cicely Strong and Vanessa Bayer, Bowen Yang, and Sarah Sherman going full metal in a new campaign for CeraVe. And Volkswagen debuted a new commercial featuring the Californians characters. Everyone's got to make a living, but it was too much. And of course, number three, best Black Jeopardy cameos. Oh man, okay. In the Black Jeopardy sketch, one of the night's surprises was seeing Tracy Morgan as one of the show contestants and as a rival participant, the legend Eddie Murphy, as Morgan, as you can see him in the pickup movie that's coming out this week, this Friday. Showtime at the Apollo and in living color for references were the icing on the cake. Of course, oh boy, I'm not even gonna go there on the political shit. Number four, worst broadly named montages. Maybe SNL 40 said it best when it comes to succinctly honoring the show's best moments in a long, curious, pre-taped, genuinely classic moments were interspersed with modern hackery. When your thesis statement lets you pack in practically anything from Chevy Chase pratfalls to love, love's a dream, to forgettable recent scenes like Chris Rock's surgeon being sprayed with blood by Adam Sandler. Maybe just call your segment montage. Yeah, all right. Number five, best deep thoughts by Handy. Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy was a segment on SNL consisting of surreal one-liner jokes written and orated by the former SNL writer that aired in the 90s. So hearing the music that Phil Hartman voiced over and Handy's demure narration during the anniversary show really took us back. It was easily, one of the night's best surprises. And number six, best Adam Driver's face. after Julia, um, after Julia Louis Dreyfus explained that her emotional support dog took John Lovett's seat in 8H. The Veep star turned her attention to Adam Driver's steely stoic gaze, which she claimed masked his attraction to her iconic. And number seven, best is Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey Plaza has been laying low since the tragic death of her husband, Jeff Bayana, who died by suicide on January 3rd. So it was moving to see her introduce Miley Cyrus and Brittany Howard's cover of Prince's Nothing Compares to You. Yes, nothing compares to you. And of course, number eight, worst show hypocrisy. Speaking of Nothing Compares to You, the show honored a track famously performed on SNL by Sinead O'Connor, who died in 2023. Famously, the show cut O'Connor loose after she ripped up a picture of the Pope in protest of the church's child sex abuse scandals. Oh boy. Hold on. Man. Anyway, number 9, best drunk update couple. Oh wow. The girl you wish you hadn't started a conversation with at a party. Cicely Strong announced she's having a baby with drunk uncle Bobby Monahan. It was fun to see Monahan riff on show history. One qualm, no drunk girl. Number 10, worst Canadian update couple. I love Vanessa Bayer, but did not need to see the Lorne Michaels best friends from growing up characters at the anniversary show. Instead, we needed Oscar winner Howard Shore here, who actually grew up with Lorne. Number 11, best Bill Murray ranks weekend update host. On Friday, Bill Murray performed as Nick, the lounge singer, during the homecoming concert. At tonight's SNL 50, his anchor correspondent returned to list his favorite update host. Beyond the classy tribute to Norm McDonald, Bill's shout out to his own brother Brian Doyle Murray was amazing. Gail Matthews was snubbed. number 12, number 12, best aware in jokes. At times, the show displayed surprise self-awareness. Andy Samberg's digital short on SNL's long history of anxiety was incisive and smart, and featured a fun rapping cameo from Chris Parnell. Meanwhile, when Ryan Reynolds raised his hand during the Q&A segment with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, Fey asked him how's it going, poking fun at the legal battle PR nightmare he and his wife Blake Lively are currently dealing with. The actor quipped, Why? What have you heard?" Oh shit. Number 13, worst diminishing returns on the Mulaney musical. I will accept the return of Kate McKinnon's alien abductee character, Colleen Rafferty, but her Rudy Giuliani was a huge miss to me during the 50th anniversary celebration. And for that matter, the John Mulaney musical ode to New York City does not compare to its original iteration. Lobster Diner. Should have said dinner, but diner. I don't really care what it is. Anyway, there is a legacy around NYC that needs to be grappled with, but I'm not sure musical theater is the answer. For one thing, Lin Manuel Miranda just revisited Hamilton on SNL a mere month ago. However, it was cool seeing Paul Schaefer and guitarist G.E. Smith back. Oh wow. Number 14, best the return of Chad and Lorraine Newman. Oh man. Oh man, that's funny. Lorraine Newman reminiscing about the original original Not Ready for Primetime Players years was not moving, but also funny as her trips down memory lane were undercut by Pete Davidson's topless dope Chad. Oh man. Gilda Radner is gone. John Belushi is gone. Seeing Lorraine hold the torch for them was fantastic, as was seeing her and fellow original cast member Jane Curtin hold up a photo of Gilda during the good nights of the 50th anniversary special. And number 15, Best Adam Sandler's 50 years performance. Elsewhere, Adam Sandler paid tribute to the show's many memories and team members, including its hard-working crew. He stole the show here and was introduced by Jack Nicholson, who was making a rare public appearance. I will never say a bad word about something that name drops Tim Kazurinsky. Number 16, worst iconic for Will Ferrell characters usage. Oh gosh. The commercial parody montage was a reminder of how hilarious Will Ferrell was during his time on the show and how wasted he was wedged into the inexplicit in inexplicably hold on inexplicably placed Lawrence Welk show segment. He was a deep bench of characters, so I'm not sure SNL 50 made the right call tapping his Robert Goulet. However, he does conduct himself later on with his elf referencing scare straight appearance. Number 17, Mike Myers as Linda Richmond. Oh no. The Bronx Beat sketch with Amy Fowler and Maya Rudolph was perfectly fine, but immediately was elevated when Mike Myers' Linda Richmond showed up. It was the first appearance of the Coffee Talk host since Myers hosted SNL back in 1997, and Richmond's random cameo recalled the famous moment when Barbara Streisand guest starred in the sketch back in 1992. This was cool. Plus, we got a Baldwin reference. In 2025, in this economy, we are spoiled. Feast on this, friends. Number 18, Best Garrett Morris introduces Don't Look Back in Anger. After uneven return from Debbie Downer and Scared Straight, the show regained its footing by having Garrett Morris introduce Schiller's brilliant short film Don't Look Back in Anger. Number 19, Best Tom Hanks in Memoriam. Oh, wow. Tom Hanks took a moment to honor those countless members of the SNL family taken from us too soon. He wasn't speaking of late cast members, but SNL characters and sketches that have aged horribly, as they featured ethnic stereotypes, sexual harassment, body shaming, animal cruelty, questionable makeup, slut shaming, sexism, and Adrian Brody in a wig, in, a, in an ethnic wig. Oh shit. Oh shit. He wore a wig. Oh wow. To name a few. Oh man. Infamous sketches like Uncle Roy and Canteen Boy were were called out. Oh wow. Did I miss It's Pat? But ultimately, as Hanks pointed out, the audience is at fault. You all laughed at them. So if anyone should be canceled, shouldn't it be you, the audience? Oh shit. And last but not least, number 20, Little Wayne's music medley. No disrespect to Sir Paul McCartney, but Dwayne Carter Jr., aka Little Wayne, clearly had the superior musical medley of the night. Backed by the Roots, the rapper performed hits including Uproar, Lollipop, 6 Foot, 7 Foot, Mrs. Officer, and a Millie. Fun fact, Wayne first appeared on the show back in 2004 when he was featured in Destiny's Child performance of Soldier. Yeah, I didn't know that. Now, if y'all want to actually see the 50th, the SNL 50 50th anniversary. Y'all can watch it on Peacock. That's out right now. All right, let's move on to another topic here. Yeah. All right, let's move on to another topic here. Um oh man. So okay. Okay. So let me see. Oops. All right. So Oreo cookies. All right. So there are many types of there are many types of cookies out there, from chocolate chip to sugar. However, only one is known by its brand name rather than the type of cookie it is. Although it needs no introduction, Oreo is one of the most popular sandwich cookies worldwide. The cookie brand has developed over 85 different flavors since its inception in 1912, when it was first produced in the Chelsea Market in Manhattan, New York. And of course, this is according to the Street website. Although Oreo is mainly known for its original chocolate wafer with vanilla cream, it has launched multiple offerings, with some becoming permanent additions, others being seasonal regulars, and a few getting completely discontinued. Hmm. Well, hmm. Let me see. There are various factors Oreo takes into account when choosing which flavors to make, keep, and discontinue. However, sometimes the reason is entirely unknown, especially when a flavor is so beloved. Oreo brings back a beloved seasonal flavor due to popular demand. Oreo owned by Oreo owned by Monda- Mondelez, Mondelez International first launched the Blueberry Pie Oreo cookie in June 2016 as a limited edition flavor, and due to its popularity, re-released it in 2017. The Blueberry Pie Oreo features blueberry cream sandwiched between two graham cracker flavored cookies. Yum. Um, let's see. Um, Although a success among fans, the cookie giant discontinued this flavor after it was made available to the public, never to be seen again on grocery store shelves. However, 8 years later, Oreo had a sudden change of heart. Some may say that touting the power of collective voices only helps keep people motivated, but the strategy has actually worked this time. Due to popular demand, Oreo is returning the fan favorite blueberry pie Oreo cookie, and of course, the blueberry pie Oreo will be available. Yeah, that's already that already happened already. So, um, yeah, for those who registered, the pre-sale begins June 7th. So, that's about 2.5 months ago. Cookie fans react to the return of the blueberry pie Oreo. Oreo made a social media post to announce the return of the discontinued blueberry pie flavor with the caption, "You win. Now please stop yelling at us." Netizens quickly bombarded Oreo's comment section with their opinions on the relaunch after an 8-year hiatus. One user commented, "Dreams do come true." Another user wrote, Summer just got soft." A blueberry pie Oreo lover expressed their excitement, commenting, "I've been waiting for this day for almost 10 years." International Oreo fans also took over the comment section, requesting the blueberry pie flavor be available in their home countries. After this first petition was successful, many people began requesting the return of other discontinued flavors. The red velvet taking the lead. There's no reassurance that the blueberry pie Oreo will return next year, so you should stock up now while supplies last. Yeah, red velvet cake is my favorite. Red velvet Oreo cookies is my favorite. As far as they have the peanut butter one that I like too. Actually, they have the peanut butter one. Um, I remember they have the double stuffed Oreo cookies actually, and along with other flavors. Um, so hopefully someday I may end up buying some Oreo cookies. Hopefully peanut butter or any other flavors that's there, so I can actually, you know, enjoy it. Now let's get to Red Lobster. Let's get to Red Lobster here. Um, and this is from USA Today. Crab Fest is Crab Fest is back at Red Lobster, and this year, the seafood restaurant chain is introducing all new seafood boils to the lineup. The company said in a June 23rd news release, this year's Crab Fest lineup is packed with exciting new flavors, including the seafood boils that are designed to bring fun and flavor straight to the table. Hmm. This should be a segment in. Hmm. This should be a segment in Munchies and Drinks. How about that? How about that? Yeah, I forgot to mention the food segment, which is Munchies and Drinks. So forgive me for that actually. Oh man. All right. Yeah, Munchies and Drinks is the segment that I'm going to actually get into involving Red Lobster. So there you go, right there. Um, all right, let's get into it right here. Hold on. Hold on. Oh boy. Bear with me. Just bear with me. All right. As I was saying in the Crab Fest of Red Lobster, which is, hang on 1 second here. Boy, all right. Okay, so yeah, so as I was saying, Crab Fest is back at Red Lobster, and this year the seafood restaurant chain is introducing all new seafood boils to the lineup. The company said in a June 23rd news release, this year's Crab Fest lineup is packed with exciting new flavors, including the seafood boils that are designed to bring fun and flavor straight to the table. Red Lobster says customers can choose between two options: Mariner's Boil features a main lobster tail, a dozen shrimp, snow crab legs, excuse me, um, corn and red potatoes, and then Sailor's Boiler features a mix of shrimp, smoked sausage, corn, and red potatoes. Each bowl can be finished with a choice of roasted garlic butter, Cajun butter, or Old Bay seasoning, according to the chain. Red Lobster's Craft Fest is the ultimate summer dining experience featuring exciting the flavorful dishes like our new seafood boils, said Nicole Rebillard, Chief Marketing Officer of Red Lobster in the news release. Whether you are a longtime Red Lobster lover or participating in Craft Fest for the first time, we've got something to bring everyone joy. Crab Fest is available for a limited time from June 23rd, which started from now through September 14th, according to Red Lobster. New Crab Fest dishes at Red Lobster, in addition to the seafood boils, customers can also get the Crab Your Way offering, which features a full pound of crab legs prepared your way over crispy potatoes. Diners can choose between snow crab or or birdie crab. Birdie crab. However you pronounce this is Bairdi for an extra $9, and then choose their flavor between simply steamed roasted garlic butter, Cajun butter or Old Bay Parmesan flavoring. Other dishes of Other dishes offered as part of Crab Fest include crabby stuffed mushrooms, a flavorful appetizer packed with rich crab stuffing, crab top asparagus, a premium side featuring asparagus topped with crab top potato, a premium side dish elevating a classic dish with savory crab, steak Oscar, sirloin topped with lump meat in a creamery decadent sauce, salmon Oscar, Atlantic salmon topped with lump crab meat in a creamy decadent sauce. The chain is also introducing a festival of summer sips, which is a lineup of 3 festival themed cocktails. Hmm. That sounds like fun though. Okay, that sounds like fun to me. Um, let's see. Okay. Let's see. All right, social media response to Red Lobster seafood boils. Social media users appear to be thrilled with the concept of seafood boils at Red Lobster. Red Lobster is about to have seafood boil bags, a sangria flight, and $5 drinks. Phew! That new CEO came in the door swinging. Ex user Bombshell Cole posted on June 21st. Let me see. Hold on. Here's how other socials reacted. Here's how other social media users reacted to the news. Yeah, there's a few ex users that actually so here it is. So this person says Red Lobster is about to have seafood boil bags, a sangria flight, and $5 drinks. Yeah, I already got that part though. Red Lobster having seafood boils is insane. Also, me down there trying a Cajun butter one. Red Lobster got seafood boils coming on the menu, dipping that biscuit in that sauce. Yeah. Hmm. Red Lobster start having seafood boils. That new CEO know what he doing. And this person says Red Lobster got seafood boils. That sounds great though, man. Um, yeah, that really sounds great. That really does sound great though. You know what I mean? Um, is there anything else that I want to actually talk? You know what? You know what I want to do? I haven't done this in a long time, actually. So I have not done this in a long time. So let's get to a segment that I haven't done for a very long time, and this is podcast free game mechanisms. This is a segment where I actually give the listeners at home who want to start a podcast and the types of things that they need, and of course some tips. And of course some tips on how to proceed. So here it is, podcast free game mechanisms. Okay, so all right, so I was talking to a niece of mine that lives in Long Island actually, and she basically told me that she wanted to actually start, her and her friend want to start a podcast. And I basically gave her some tips on the types of equipment that she needs, and and I'm gonna do the same for you folks at home that want to start a podcast or whatever. So I'm gonna actually give it to you right here, right now. So the equipments, the important equipments that you need to start a podcast are headphones, a laptop, a microphone, and of course, some important items for lighting purposes. And one thing I would like to say is you don't need a fancy expensive recording studio to record your podcast episodes. And I actually told my niece, and along with with most of the listeners out there, that recording studios are so expensive. They're so expensive, with the recordings and all that other stuff and all that extra shit. You don't need to waste your money on that when you can do, most podcasters usually record their podcast at their cribs, and sometimes you hear them record their podcast in their cars, which I find very interesting, because not only Michael Rappaport pulled it off, but Ryan Finkelstein from Locked On Mets actually did it. Whenever he goes out of town, he he tries to pull it off by recording in his car, though, man. Which I didn't think he could pull it off, though, man. But you can record your podcast anywhere. Like, it could be on the couch, it could be in your bedroom, wherever it may be. You know what I'm saying? And you can actually get yourself an LED light, so that also helps. That also helps with the lighting as well. So yeah. Oh man. And in case you're wondering where you could get your headphones, where you get your laptops and microphones and things for lighting purposes and stuff like that, you can find it in retail stores like you can find it at Walgreens. No, not Walgreens, but Walmart. You can go to Best Buy. You can go to Target, which is where I bought my microphone online. I don't remember how much I paid for the microphone years ago, but you know, and and of course you can order online, like on Amazon, so you don't miss a beat. All right. And the important tips that I would like to say for those who are starting their podcast whatsoever, the most important thing is to be yourself behind the microphone as you are recording your podcast episodes and the topics that you are going to talk about. You feel what I'm saying? And another thing that's important is to, not worry about the haters. All right. The haters are just a bunch of nothing fucking burgers, okay, that you can eat for lunch. Also, also, um, to take into account is to know that there is no right or wrong time to start a podcast. The same way there is no right or wrong. There is no right or wrong way to doing and hosting your podcast. Okay, that's that's another important thing. And don't overthink. Do not overthink. Even though you have life unexpected things that happens in your life, it's always important to actually find a balance, especially if you have work, especially if you go to work. You always want to find some flexible time for yourself too. And of course, another important thing is to be consistent, be on your p's and q's, so you don't have to worry about giving up on your podcast whatsoever. It doesn't matter how much views you get, and it doesn't really matter how much subscribers you have. As long as you're having fun with your podcast and building your craft and building your brand, whatever it may be that you're trying to do whatsoever. But ask yourself this question: Are you doing this for? Are you doing this to make money and having a moment, or are you doing this for a hobby and to have fun and love what you do creatively? Because at the end of the day, you're not going to please everybody. So don't worry about what other people think as far as like the haters, okay? I am doing my best to actually not care about what other people think, because I'm at a point in my life where I'm at a point in my life where I could care less about what a hater says, okay? This is just it just becomes fucking ridiculous at times. So another tip that I like to give to up and coming new podcasters out there is to, you know, not only be in your P's and Q's, but also be confident in doing what you love. Because at the end of the day, as you grow your community full of listeners, whether they are from international spots, United States, including the tri-state areas of of um, New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut, I'm pretty sure they will come around. So don't worry about the numbers and analytics and all that other stuff. Don't worry about that. And also remember, this is a marathon grind, not a sprint. All right. So boom, there you go. These are my tips, and this has been podcast free game mechanisms. All right. So there you go. Let me see how much time I have here. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Got it. All right. Now we go to our very last segment, stream choices on the go. All right. Here it is. Strange choices on the go. If I can find it. Hold on a second. All right. Make sure you follow Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast on Bluesky Social, Facebook, Threads, and Instagram, alongside with my other podcast shows that I do, which is also on the same platforms that I just mentioned, which includes Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. And if you and look, if you miss any previous episodes that I dropped recently, whether it's episode 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, and 102, please feel free to actually subscribe to the YouTube channel, the sports YouTube channel page of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. All right. So there you go. And my entertainment review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. Of course, make sure you subscribe to that YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe over there. And of course, you can follow your host with the most, G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York, on Threads and Instagram. Now I'm gonna break down the streaming platforms, the streaming platform podcast feeds for you folks at home, in case you don't know where you can listen to the episodes. I got you. All right, I got you. All right, so you can listen to the episodes as you click the Linktree link /G Money Stacks 555, so you'll be able to know where you can listen, starting with Odyssey, Audible, Audioburst, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you leave a review and 5 stars. It will really mean a lot to me that you show some support, and to help the show grow, and give me the strength and encouragement and confidence for me to keep going. All right. So it'll really mean a lot to me. For those of you, if you have Apple Podcasts on your phones or whatever, of course, leave a 5-star review. Yeah, leave a 5-star review, and tell me how you feel about the topics in each episode, including this one right here. All right, so Castbox FM, Diesel, Listen Notes, Moon FM podcast, Overhaul FM podcast, Pandora, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podo Polo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podcatcher, Podcast Republic, Snipped, Spotify. If you have Spotify on your phones, Android tablets, iPads, laptops, please add the podcast to your playlist. All right. And let's get some streams and downloads. And you can also listen on Spotify for creators. You can also comment on there as well. You can also listen on TuneIn Radio alongside with Fountain, Good Pods, iHeartRadio, the #1 app where you can listen to your favorite music artists, including rappers, R&B singers, different music genres, hip hop artists, radio stations, and of course, you can listen to the podcast show episodes for free. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download iHeartRadio. All you need to do is actually follow and subscribe to Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast, the comedy the comedy show right here on iHeartRadio, along with other streaming platforms that I just mentioned, and of course, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel page G Money Stacks 555 for more live video episode podcast live streams. And of course, leave a like and a comment along with the episode topics. Tell me how you feel about the topics in this episode and previous episodes whatsoever. Of course, tell me how you feel. If you have any questions, if you have any topic ideas that you want me to talk about, whatever. But keep in mind, I'm not doing anything political, okay? I'm not doing anything political, so that's not going to happen. And also share the Linktree link along with the podcast feed links of streaming platforms with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, people you are cool with from work, and other areas where you interact with one another. And of course, add the podcast to your Spotify playlist, like I said earlier. And of course, be sure to also spread the word. Word of mouth is important. And yes. Also make sure you enable alerts so you don't miss out on any episodes whatsoever that's uploaded, where the videos are being uploaded to the YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555. And of course, be sure to get notified so you'll be able to know when I'll be on the air via live stream, so you can tune in to the recording of each new episode. And speaking of new episodes drops on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on every streaming platform, including YouTube. Whenever you listen, stream, and watch your podcast. All right. All right. So that's going to do it for me. I'm your man, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, and I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for listening to the episode, the 411th episode, dedicated to SNL 50, excuse me. SNL 50, which is the 50th anniversary. And of course, remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. It's not going to be given to you in a fucking platter. Also, if you find your niche, follow your goals and dreams. Don't let anybody stop you on following your goals and dreams, especially if you're trying to, whatever career you're trying to do, just go for it. And of course, for all you new podcasters out there, don't let anybody tell you not to name. If you are doing a podcast recording on YouTube, it still counts as a podcast, okay? It counts as a fucking podcast, okay? And of course, like I said, be confident in what you love to do. Be consistent. Be on your P's and Q's. Creatively, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, that gets you into your zone, alongside with tunnel vision. Also remember, this is a fucking grind, and a marathon, not a sprint. All right. And of course, don't worry about, like I said, don't worry about the haters. They're fucking nothing burgers, okay? You can eat them for lunch. All right. And of course, I will be doing more of some podcast free game mechanisms to give some tips on a frequent basis. It's probably not going to be every week, but if I run out of topics to talk about, I will gladly you know, give y'all some tips on the types of equipment and the types of things you need, and of course some tips on how to, proceed with things. So stay tuned for that in the future. And I'll be back with the next episode, new topics, all that great stuff right there. Of course, remember to share the episodes. You can share the episodes by sharing the videos. You can also share the links of each episode, like your Spotify links, whatever it may be, whatever you're comfortable with. Go ahead and do it. It would really mean a lot to me if you actually show some support and everything else in between. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Y'all could have listened to any other podcast in the whole world, but you chose to listen to this. You chose to listen to this comedy off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for keeping up with me, and of course helping me reach over 400 episodes already. This is episode 411. 411 episodes. It's a grind, all right? It's a fucking grind, okay? Remember that. This is not a marathon. Hold on. This is a marathon, not a sprint, all right? So, you know what I mean? So, I'm going to be out of here. I'll see y'all next time. See y'all next time with new episodes and all that great stuff right there. Peace and one love. Good night, everybody.